Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Apostadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. In the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Apostadash. Say shalom to the elders out there for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. In the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Apostadash. Say shalom to the elders out there, definitely for sure. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. In the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Apostadash. I say shalom to the elders Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf out there. Out here another day on the highways and hedges on this Thursday afternoon. And for Wadi Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai for giving us an opportunity and chance to come out here to do so, to prophesy on the highways and hedges out here in modern day Babylon and modern day Egypt as well too. And once again, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai for giving us an opportunity and chance to come out here to do so, as we continue to measure the time diligently in itself, watching out for these major events, global events, prophecy that's about to be fulfilled, and these increasing biblical signs. And I'm getting to that second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. So like I'm gonna wait for this to go fast. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1 of the Apocryphal books, or the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, He answered me, then it said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest the parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Right, so we're measuring the time diligently in itself, concerning the times and what times that we're living in, watching out for these major events, these biblical signs that we are seeing in the world today, and these prophecies that's about to be fulfilled. So we are on our watch as being a watchman of the house of Israel. Doing sit-down lessons out here on the highways and hedges. Warning all the nations of what's about to take place currently in the world today, and our nation as well too. We're sounding that alarm, we're blowing that trumpet. We're measuring the time diligently in itself. We're going to continue to see these increasing signs now so more than ever, and prophecy that's about to be fulfilled, and increasing major events, global events, biblical signs and prophecies that's soon about to come to pass. We're seeing that right in front of our eyes in these times that we are living in, Just like it says in Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets of old prophesied against war, prophesied against great countries and great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. That's why we're back on the scene today in modern day times, prophesying about war, evil, and pestilence. That's why we're out here in modern day times. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 2. It says, Then thou shalt understand it is a very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right, just like it was an earthquake over there in Colombia. I just did a sit-down lesson before I came to camp. I believe it was like a magnitude of a 6.1 earthquake. Which, because it just actually happened down there in Colombia of South America. So they still updating stories about it, Because it was just a recent earthquake took over there, So that shows you signs that the Heavenly Father is visiting this earth with these weather-like conditions, So we definitely seeing these increasing of these earthquakes in diverse places. Just like that recent earthquake took over there in the Bay Area. I believe that was a 3.8 magnitude of an earthquake. So we've been seeing recent earthquakes that have been taking place over in northern California and southern California. And we've been seeing earthquakes increasing throughout the whole world. Earthquakes in diverse places, just like that recent earthquake took over there in the Solomon Islands. I believe that was a magnitude of a 6.1 to 6.5 magnitude of the earthquake. So that shows you that signs that the Heavenly Father is visiting this earth which he made. He's going to visit this earth which he made because he's the creator of everything, because he's the true living power, which is Yahweh of Israel, the God of Israel is visiting this earth now so more than ever, So we've never seen a large amount of earthquakes like ever before, and we're going to continue to see high impact of high magnitudes of earthquakes in diverse places. These tornadoes, these earthquakes, these landslides, these floodings, just like that recent flooding took place over in India. I believe it was like 80 plus people were killed, and like 20 something still missing. Even though we are so used to accustomed to seeing that, but we've been seeing that at an alarming rate. Just like those recent floodings took place over there in we definitely seeing increasing of families around the world, even though we are so used to seeing that in these third world countries. Hey, we starting to see in these larger populated countries of these famines and pestilence and plagues. You know, not too long ago, I would say like a couple of weeks ago, Peru down there in South America, Peru, they was under of a state of emergency of some type of disease. You know, and I forgot what other area they was talking about. I believe it's over there, the northwest of Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. I think like 3 people were killed due to some type of bacteria. Flesh was eating people's body and stuff like that. Hey, those are the pestilence and plagues from the Heavenly Father, you know. And we're gonna continue to see that increase. Just like they said, cases been just like this EG.5 pestilence. That the cases are rising up down there in the southern states, you know, especially that Maui case that we've been seeing with that Maui mosquito disease that took place in 2013. Now we've been seeing it over the past couple of weeks and months or so, you know. Hey, those are prime examples that I just mentioned of the pestilence and the plagues, the famines, the sword, famine, definitely destruction that the Heavenly Father is going to send upon the whole world, and definitely over in Babylon as well. So, you know, hey, those are increasing signs that we are going to continue to see that now so more than ever. And this is what we're out here prophesying about: war, evil, and the pestilence. Definitely the evils and the pestilence category is definitely coming over into Babylon. You know, and a great family is about to come to Babylon. You know, and for the whole world for your witness as well too. As I mentioned in 2nd Ezra 15:5. You know. But continuing on, so those are prime examples that we're about to see in the latter days, because these are the signs of the times that we are in. You know, that's why we are discerning the times of what times that we are living in. This is 2nd Ezra chapter. So you know we are on our watching out for these signs, major events, global events, biblical signs that are going to increase at an alarming rate like never before. You know, we are in those times. You know? So that's why the Heavenly Father told us to look out for these signs, just like He told, just like the disciples, ask you how shall would show the signs of thy coming, of the end of the world. You know, just like it says in Matthew 24th chapter. You know, and Yahweh Shai explained it to the disciples of the signs of the times. Now we are in that mindset of our great forefathers, you know, prophesying about war, evil, and pestilence, you know. But continuing on, that was an additional note that I wanted to add to that. But continuing on, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people in the world, right? That's what we're seeing. Just like what took place over there in Ecuador. You know, hey, you had like a former president. A president candidate, you know, he was assassinated. You know, a mayor of Ecuador, he was assassinated. A politician, you know, he was assassinated. So that shows you that, you know, those are uprisings and uproars of people. Hey, we're going to continue to see that increase now somewhat in Ecuador. Those are the prime examples. This is, I'm going to read again. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars in the people in the world. Right, that's what we see. Tensions and uprisings and uproars in the people of the world over there in Niger, over there in Sudan, over there in Peru, over there in Ecuador. You know, hey, we're going to continue to see that increase in the erupt now some more than ever, because these are the signs of the times that we are in, you know. So we're going to see that now some more than ever, you know. But continuing on, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 4. It says, then thou shalt understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? From the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. You know, these are the signs that the Heavenly Father spoke about from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So we're going to continue to see these signs that the Heavenly Father spoke about the major the weather events, prophecies that's about to be fulfilled. Now so more than ever. So we're going to continue to see the earthquakes in diverse places, the tornadoes, the floodings, the earthquakes, the pestilence, the plagues. And these are the signs that the Heavenly Father spoke about from the days that were recorded here from the beginning. And we're going to continue to see that increase now so more than ever. And this is Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 5. It says, for like all that is made in a world and a beginning and had it. So like, let me read that again, my apologies. This is Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 5, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. It says, for like all that is made in a world, it had a beginning and the end is manifested. Right, so the beginning of the end and the end is being manifested. And we're seeing these signs of the signs of the times that we are in. That's why we are measuring the time diligently in itself. So, hey, we're seeing these signs now so more than ever. The major events, global events, biblical signs, prophecy that's about to be fulfilled. So we are in those times, The more we prophesy about it, the more we see it comes into full effect, of these signs and major events and global events, These are the increasing signs of the times and modern day times that we are in, That's why we are on our watch and discerning the times, what times that we're living in. And this is the Jeremiah chapter 28 verse 20, Jeremiah 28 verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before the old will prophesy against many countries and great kingdoms. Right, of war, evil, and of pestilence. Right, just like I mentioned that of Jeremiah 28:8. Hey, the prophets of old, of our great forefathers, were prophesying about war, evil, and pestilence. Now we are back on the scene today, prophesying about war, evil, and the pestilence. And we're going to continue to see the increasing growing of the war, evil, and the pestilence. Now so more than ever, because we are in those times. And we are in those increasing times like never before. And we're going to continue to see that increase now so more than ever, And this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with earthquake and great noise of storms and tempests and the flame devouring fire. Just like we see what took place over there in Maui, Hawaii. Hey, I believe it's like 106 people died so far. And I believe they said the death toll expected to go up, And the uncounted number of missing people last time I checked was like 1,300 people, So those numbers might go up, So, hey, we've been seeing the wildfires taking place over there in Canada. The wildfires been taking place over there in Algeria. The wildfires been taking place down in Texas. Wildfires been taking place over there in Greece, Spain, and these are the signs of the times that we're living in. Wildfires that have been occurring every year over there in California. So that shows you what times that we're living in. Because these are the increasing of the signs of the times. So the Heavenly Father of the Lord of hosts of Yahweh Shai is definitely going to continue to visit this earth with these earthquakes, tornadoes, landslides, floodings, a flaming devouring fire as well too. We're going to continue to see that increase now some more than ever, I'm going to get into the Matthew's 24th chapter since I mentioned it. And this is the book of Matthew chapter 24 verse 1. It says, and Yahweh Shai went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to shew him the building of the temple. This is Matthew 24 and 2, and it reads, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here nor one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. This is Matthew 24 and 3, and it reads, it says, and as he sat down upon the Mount Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? This is Matthew 24 and 4, and Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. This is Matthew 24 and verse 5, and it reads, It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach Yahushua, and shall deceive many. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, so these are the signs that we are seeing. And just like Yahushua spoke to the disciples, privately, and they answered, what shall these signs come? What shall these signs come of the end of the world? And then then Yahushua said that take heed that no man deceive you, just like he mentioned it to the disciples. And fast forward into modern day times, and we definitely are taking heed to that, just like of our great forefathers, took heed to that. Now we are taking heed to that in modern day times, because these are the signs that Yahweh Shemashai spoke about from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Now that we took heed to that in modern day times as generations passed on, we are prophets, we are a representation in our servants, ministries and the labels and representation of our Lord and our Savior, Yahweh Shai, Continuing on, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, and that's what we are seeing. Back to Matthew 24 and 6 of the increasing of these wars and rumors of wars. So we seeing what's taking place with the Russia-Ukraine situation. That's heating up now so more than ever. And we seeing what's taking place over there in the South China Sea in the Taiwan Strait. Let me charge my phone up right quick. Bear with me just a second. Yeah, so back to what I was saying, especially what's taking place with the Russia-Ukraine situation and what's going on over there in the South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait as well too. Because these are the increasing of the signs of the times and what times that we're living in. I believe there was a news article that came out earlier today. I did a sit-down lesson when I had woke up before I was about to come out here to teach. It was a news article saying that I believe it was either last night that I did it or this morning. It was a news article. Even though I've been doing lessons on it for the past day or two or so, it been another update about North Korea are in the preparations. Potentially might do another nuclear testing or strike to protest their military might and strength. That they are already in preparedness of a potential showdown between South Korea, Japan, and the United States. Because I believe they had some type of summit meeting between South Korea and the United States, so they can more occupy more in their military, they're more in their military capability, amending the tensions that they have against North Korea, So that shows you that, those are prime examples of Matthew 24 verse 6 of the wars and rumors of wars are heating up, and we're going to continue to see that increase now so more than ever, especially with the Azerbaijan-Armenian situation, even though they're trying to tackle that situation. As you have these guards are blocking road areas, because it's causing a lot of stir between the citizens over there. They blocking the areas due to it's going to cause a lot of crisis, a lot of famines. Famines is growing over there, as they try to tackle that situation, as they've been having on and off escalations over there, especially with what's taking place over there in the Middle East. You got Iran versus Israel. The president of Hezbollah, that he been taking shots at Israel. Just like he responded back to, the IDF saying they was gonna blow Hezbollah back into the Stone Age. The president of Hezbollah, he responded back to that. He said, "Hey, you want to play with fire? Hey, we'll blow y'all back into the Stone Age as well too." So even though they just bigger and better back and forth with one another, hey, those shows are prime examples of those tensions are not gonna, those escalations are not gonna diffuse anytime soon. So it's gonna continue to stir up now, so more than ever. Just like with the China versus the United States, Beijing versus Washington, over Taiwan. Just like that recent visit that the vice president of Taiwan said he's not going to back down of the threats from Beijing and China. The United States recently did those transactions of helping of Taiwan, those military aid assistance, those multiple transactions of 300 plus million, and another transaction was 500 plus million in military aid assistance. And the missile defense system was deployed over there. The Patriot missile system been deployed over there in Taiwan, and the recent military deployment over there as well too. So hey, that shows you that the prime examples, those escalations is taking place over there in the South China Sea, right along the Taiwan Strait. Those tensions are stirring up between Taiwan and China versus the United States over Taiwan. That's going to continue to increase now, so more than ever. Those are prime examples of Matthew 24 verse 6. We'll continue on. This is Matthew 24 verse 7, and it reads, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Right, that's what we're saying. Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So we're going to continue to see that increase now, so more than ever. The Russia-Ukraine situation was taking place, Israel-Palestine situation, and it was taking place down there in the Indo-Pacific region. You got nations are escalating over who should have claim over territorial islands not too far from the South China Sea. China just made that announcement a couple of days ago, almost a week ago, about the Philippines for telling them to have their military ship being departed away from their areas over there in those territorial islands. So there's been a lot of tensions and escalations over there, especially with these East Asian countries over there, over there in the South China Sea, as all of them try to tussle it out, trying to have territorial claims over islands over there, not too far from the South China Sea, So that can start a potential escalation of that as well too, especially what's been taking place over there. That's why the tensions between Iran and the United States, even if they did that little prison swipe, that don't mean nothing, They still gonna have tensions between one another, Just like recently I did a sit-down lesson last night about the United States is beefing up the their military deployment over there. Especially recently, they deployed like 3,000 troops, and I believe they added an additional more troops and military equipment over there in the Gulf of Oman, over there in the Persian Gulf as well too. So those tensions between Iran and the United States are heating up now, some more than ever. And Iran is increasing their enrichment of creating a multiple of nuclear weapons and multiple of nuclear bombs as well too. Even though there are reports that they have slowed down on that, but hey, that's not going to be the case. Even if they get hit with hard economic sanctions, just like North Korea getting hit with hard economic sanctions, just like Iran is getting hit with hard economic sanctions, just like Russia was getting hit with consistently economic sanctions. That's just gonna make them stronger. That's just only gonna create more of their nuclear capability. Not too long ago, about two months ago, I did a lesson on that, and I was out here mentioning about it as well too. That Russia launched a increasing advanced ICBM missile, and they were sending that they were sending that warning to the United States. So that shows you that the nations are not afraid of Babylon. and its allies, So that shows you prime examples that I've been, mentioning about of the current situation of the escalations and the tensions between the different nations and different kingdoms are heating up. Nations are rising up against one another at an all-time high, and we're going to continue to see that increase now, so more than ever. And this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So these are the increasing stages of beginning of sorrows, of these signs that we are seeing taking place in the world today. We're going to continue to see that increase now, so more than ever, Right, and this is Matthew 24, and this is Matthew 24 and 12. And because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right, I'm going to switch up the spirit. Hey, just like Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, there's going to be spirits that are created for vengeance, which fury lay on sore strokes, and the peace of wrath of him that made it. Hey, the peace of wrath of him that made it. Hey, that's the Heavenly Father is bringing up those vengeful spirits, Hey, it's going to be a lot of vengeful spirits, which we are seeing right now is coming into full effect, increasingly now, so more than ever. But we're going to see it at an alarming rate like never before. And that's going to lead into a lot of increasing lawlessness that we are seeing right now. Hey, the love of many are going to wax cold in the latter days. A lot of lawlessness, just like 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin also transgressed the law. So a lot of sin is going to ramp up. A lot of heavy iniquities is going to ramp up. A lot of the love of many are waxing cold is going to ramp up in the latter days, because these are the signs of the times that we are in. Because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Hey, there's going to be a lot of people are waxing cold against one another. Just like it says in Isaiah 45 and 7, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which on fury lay on sore scrolls. Hey, Salaki, I meant to say Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light, I create darkness, I create peace, I create evil. I, the Lord, does all these things. So that shows you that the Heavenly Father, he's not no one-sided person, So that shows you that the Heavenly Father is not a respectable person. Exodus 15 and 3, hey, the Lord he's a man of war, That's why he's stirring up all these vengeful spirits. He's stirring all these wars and tensions and uprises, So, hey, he's going to continue to do that, Hey, because the Heavenly Father, he's in control of everything. He controls Satan to tell him what to do, He controls the left-hand side and the right-hand side. So he create peace, he create good, he create evil. He formed the lights, he made darkness. The Lord does all these things. Yahweh Shalom Shah, And this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51. Suppose ye that I come to send peace on the earth. Yea, I tell you nay, but rather division. Right, just like it says in Mark 3 and 24. Hey, if a kingdom be divided against itself, how shall it stand? Hey, we seeing the divided kingdom between these nations. Hey, the divided kingdom between the modern day kings that rule these countries. Around the world, they got division between one another. Hey, you got the modern day kings of Babylon. You got division between the others that are in powership and rulership. Hey, just like people within their own household, you're going to see a lot of great divisions. That's what that Luke 12 and 51 comes into. And it's going to be increasing great divisions that we are seeing right now, but we're going to see it at an alarming rate like never before. But I'm gonna read it again. And then I'm going to go down to verse 53 in the book of Luke, the 12th chapter. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 51. I'm going to read it again for edification's sake of this lesson. It says, suppose ye that, it says Luke 12 and 51, and read it again for edification's sake of this lesson. It says, suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth. I tell you nay, but rather division. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 52, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. It says, from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house, divided 3 against 2 and against 3. Right. And we're going to see that in a lot of days. Hey, that's the division between people within their own households, the division between the nations and their own households as well, too. And we're going to see this worldwide. Definitely we're going to see that a lot ramp up over here in Babylon, but for the witness, the whole world as well, too, But continuing on, the next verse, this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 53. It says, the father shall divide against the son, and the son against the father, and the mother against the daughter. Right, that's what we're seeing heavily within our community. We're going to see it towards these other nations as well too, and we've been seeing signs of it, But continuing on, this is the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 53, and it reads, it says, and a daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Right, and that's what we're seeing ramped up. That's really heavy within our community. Hey, we're starting to see that towards these other nations. Hey, that's why we've been seeing so far in the year 2023 and all the way into 2022. Hey, we've been seeing a murder-suicide rate at an all-time high. Hey, it was an article that just came out, I'd say like a couple of days ago, from 2022 all the way into 2023. Hey, we've been seeing a large amount of record of suicide rates been increasing, even though we are so used to the customer seeing that. But as of recently, once that survey of that article that just came out the day before yesterday, hey, from the year of 2022, which was last year, and to 2023, as of right now, as we stand right now in the current moment, in the current times that we are in, hey, they said it had been a large amount of suicide rates at an all-time high. That leads into these murder-suicide rates been increasing, so far in the year 2023. From January of this year all the way into August of this year, we've been seeing an increase of these murder-suicide rates between people within their families, of their structures, of situations that they've been dealing with from an economical standpoint, from a family issue, from a relationship issue, division, house issue that they are facing, Hey, we're going to continue to see that increase. Just like Deuteronomy 30:7, hey, all these curses are starting to come upon our enemies, Just like it's heavy within our community, of the division we have between our households of our families, of the respective 12 tribes of Israel, Hey, we're seeing it heavy within our communities for generations on down, and still to this day. Hey, we starting to see those curses turn upon our enemies as well too, of these other nations. They feeling the effects of what we've been going through for generations on down, and still to this day. Now they getting a taste of that, Hey, so that Deuteronomy 30 itself is coming to full fruition. Yep, so it is. And I'm gonna switch up the spirit and get into the. This is Luke. I think it's Luke. Right. This is Luke 12 and 56. It says. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 55. I'm gonna switch up the spirit now. I'm gonna start at verse 54. My apologies, Shalakia. It says, and this goes to, of the signs of the times that we are in. As I mentioned that, spoke about. I want to speak about that again. So we're definitely, just like it says in 2 Timothy 3:1, also in the latter days, perilous times shall come. And this is Luke 12 and 54. It says, and he said also to the people, when ye shall see a cloud rise out of the wet straightway, and ye shall there come a shower, and so it is. Luke 12 and 55, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. It says, and when ye shall see the south and wind blow, there will be heat, and it shall come to pass. And this is Luke 12 and 56, and it reads, it says, ye hypocrites, ye cannot discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is that ye do not discern the time? Discern this time. Right. So that goes for all the other nations. They are blind, blind to the fact that they still don't know what's going on. They see what's going on, but they don't take heed to it. The more and more increase in signs that they are seeing on the planet Earth, they don't actually discern the times of what we're living in. But, that goes for our nation and other nations as well too. You know, hey, they discern what actually was taking place, like with the weather. They see what the weather is coming like, if possible, for example, of if it's raining or if it's, you know, about to get dark and stuff like that. As a prime example, you know, they can discern that, but they cannot discern the time. You know, so that shows you that we are in the modern day. We are in the modern days of Noah. We are in the modern days of Tower of Babel. You know. Hey, just like it says, the modern day days of Noah, you know, they was eating and drinking and giving into marriage until Noah entered that ark. Because our great forefather Noah, you know, he prophesied 100 plus 20 years, you know, and then they didn't take heed to it. And once it came, hey, you know, they got all drowned, you know, and it only saved 8 people, you know, Noah and his 3 sons, you know, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, you know. So, hey, Noah had entered that ark, him and his family and stuff like that. They didn't take into that. So, just like the Heavenly Father's gonna come, he's gonna come with fire. You know, he's gonna come with fire. Just like it says in Genesis, if I'm not mistaken, it says in Genesis that, you know, the Heavenly Father, he had flooded the earth. He set a covenant he had set a covenant between him and the earth that he's not gonna flood the earth no more. You know, that's what that rainbow symbol. But the alphabet lifestyle, they use that rainbow symbol as an alternative lifestyle. But, you know, that's ultimate blasphemy, you know. And there's going to be a lot of consequences for that, you know. And we've been seeing judgment between the alphabet lifestyle. They got judged for that, you know. And we're going to continue to see that increase. So that's ultimate blasphemy. You know, that rainbow symbols that the Heavenly Father say he's not going to flood the earth no more. And that was in the book of Genesis, you know. So that shows you that, hey, this time he's going to come back with fire, you know, just like the ancient days of the days of Noah. These are the modern days of Noah. You know, people didn't take heed to it. You know, they was still following the ways of Babylon, loving the ways of Babylon, living it up, eating and drinking and giving into marriage, including our nation as well too. The ones that they don't know that they are Israel, that's still of this world. You know, even though we are of the world but not of it mentally and spiritually. You know, we are falling back into the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. But, you know, I just want to add that as a side note. So that shows you that, you know, people on this earth, they don't discern the times that they don't discern the times of the times that we're living in. They can tell you, when it's about to get dark, when it's about to get real cloudy, that it's about to rain, or when it's about to get real hot out here. You know, they can discern that, but they can't discern the times of the times that we're living in, you know. And the Wadi Yahweh Shem Shai for giving us this opportunity and chance for us to be able to discern these times of the times that we're living in. You know, the people on the planet Earth, they take heed. You know, they know what's going on, but they don't take it full in consideration to think back like, hey, maybe we should inquire what's going on, what's taking place. We already know that the Heavenly Father is doing it, but they don't take heed to it. But they still be in that YOLO spirit, that Babylonian live it up type spirit, you know, in our nation as well too, and all the other nations. So that shows you a prime example. You know, these are the modern days of Noah, and the modern days of Tower of Babel. You know? And we are in the modern days of Babylon, and the modern days of Egypt as well too. You know, and I'm gonna read it again. And this is Luke 12:56, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. It says, "Ye hypocrites, ye can discern of the fair of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye don't discern this time?" Right. And that goes for the children of Israel. You know, they don't discern the time. They just want to live it up. I mean, of course, you gotta do what you gotta do in society, provide for you and your family, and etc. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with having a good time and stuff like that. You know, because even though everything's a balance, but you still gotta know what time that you're living in. You know, ain't this a coincidence? You're seeing these wars, these rumors of wars are heating up between the different nations and different kingdoms. All these other nations threatening Babylon, and you don't consider that. You take heed to it, but you don't consider that. You know, just like it says in Second Chronicles 4 and 4:4, the God of this world had blinded the mind of the peoples. You know, they have blinded these nations
The God of the world have blinded the mind of these people of this world in this modern day society, and it had to blind the minds of our people as well too. So that's why it's important for the children of Israel coming back into who they actually really are. Hey, come back into the ways of righteousness of Yahweh Shem Shah. That's why we're out here bidding. That's why we're out here bidding Israel back into the marriage. Come back into come back into who you actually really are as being the sons and daughters of the Most High. Come back come back to righteousness and turn away from evilness and wickedness. So hey, that's why we give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shah for having an opportunity, a chance to be able to discern these times of what times that we're living in. Just like it says in Amos 3 and 7. The Heavenly Father will do nothing to reveal His secrets to His servants and prophets. Just like it been revealed to of our great forefathers during those ancient times. That's why they was able to prophesy about great countries and great kingdoms, about war, evil, and a pestilence. Ecclesiasticus, the 3rd chapter. During those times, ancient times, of the times and seasons that they were in, and what's every purpose under heaven during those times. That's why they prophesied about war, evil, and a pestilence. And the HATE been increasing, the wars been increasing, even though there will have been times of peace in the world too, because the Heavenly Father, He's a just, balanced, righteous power. So, fast forward into modern day times, we're out here on the highways and hedges prophesying about war, evil, and a pestilence. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Shad, once again, for waking us up to be able to learn these things in the latter days and continue on to learn these things in the latter days of these major events, global events, the continual understanding of the scriptures, now so more than ever. Because like it says in Revelations 1 and 3, it says, blessed he that readeth, and through precepts I get understanding. Through the precepts we continue to understand, and we continue to understand the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah, as we continue to seek the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah, and continue to seek the ways of understanding of the Holy Scriptures, now so more than ever, with meekness, humbleness, and sincerity. So the Wadi Yahweh Shem Shah for giving us that opportunity and chance, and not taking it for granted to be able to discern the times of what times that we're living in. So just like I brought out that reference that 2nd Chronicles 4 and 4, the God of this world had blinded the minds of the people with that false image of Cesare Borgia under this current BEAST system. That's why they're pushing for this MOTV, in order to buy or sell, and this is what we're about to enter into. And that's going to be another significant sign that the God of this world had blinded the minds of the people, with that false image of Cesare Borgia and this false image of this BEAST system, and with that false image. Just like it says in 1 Maccabees 3 and 48, he painted the likeness of his image, with that false image. And the God of this world have blinded the mind of the people, And we're going to continue to see that increase in a lot of days. And this is Hebrews 4 and 12. It says, the spirit and of the... Oh, Salaki, that's something else. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring out Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation, and the fear of the Lord's treasure. Right, so it's important for us to have that continued increasing of that wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Walking with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Because you look up that word stability, that goes into having a sound mind, a stable mind, in the times that we are currently in the times that we're about to approach, and our everyday walk of life, and our everyday walk in the truth. So that goes, we're definitely going to have that sound mind, that stable mind, a righteous, right frame of stable mind. This is what we're going to need to have now, so more than ever. Now more than ever, because we're definitely going to have that wisdom. We're definitely going to have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and continue to seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and continue to search of wisdom and knowledge and understanding through the Holy Scriptures and through the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, we got the Son, Yahweh Shah, Because, the times that we're about to enter into, we're about to enter in some serious, perilous, dangerous times. Matthew 24 and 21. You look up that word tribulation, it goes into great sufferings and great troubles, and this is what we're about to enter into. We already in those times right now. It's in full effect right now as we speak, but we're going to see it at an alarming rate like never before. We're going to again, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation, and the fear of the Lord is strength." Right. So the continuing building up of our strength, of the strength of our salvation, now so more than ever, and continue to fear the Lord. That's follow the ways of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh. That's why we tell the children of Israel to come back into the ways of righteousness, turn away from evilness and wickedness, and come back into the ways of righteousness in the sight of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh. Just like it says in Isaiah 55 and 6, "Seek ye the Lord while He may be found, call upon Him while He is near." You know, when we turn from our evil and wicked ways, that's in Isaiah 55 and verse 7. You know, let the wicked forsake his ways. You know, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. You know, hey, we got to come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And, you know, and turn away from evilness and wickedness and come back into the ways of righteousness. You know, once we acknowledge our evilness and heavy iniquities that we've been doing in the sight of the Heavenly Father for a very long time, and come back into the ways of righteousness in the sight of Yahweh Shemel Shah. And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man," right? Especially Israelite man, you know. Hey, we gotta fear the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, and keep His commandments still to this day. You know? Hey, follow the ways of righteousness in the sight of Yahweh Shemel. Continue to fear the Lord, and that's following the righteous path, the righteous ways of Yahweh Shemel. So we won't continue to get jacked up by the Heavenly Father. So we won't continue to be destroyed under these heavy burdens that He put us under. Hey, once we turn back from evil ways and the evilness and wickedness that we've been doing on the side of the Heavenly Father for a very long time, from generations on down and still to this day, hey, the Heavenly Father wants us to turn back to Him, come back into Him, cleave on to Him. Hey, seek Him now so more than ever. You know, search the Heavenly Father, seek Him 10 times more. You know, so like the Scripture says, a just man falleth 7 times, but he getting right back up. That's following back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah, and not be brought back to sleep on the ways of Babylon. You know, turn away from that and come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's why we tell them in Israel, come back into who you actually really are, as being the sons and daughters of the Most High. You know, turn away from evilness and wickedness and come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. You know? And I'm gonna read it again. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, and this is pertaining to the Israelites. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. It says, "Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter, fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." Right, this is the whole duty of the Israelite man. Fear Yahweh and keep His commandments, and turn away from evilness and wickedness and come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's why we're out here fishing for the elect, and we're making our election call for sure now, so more than ever, to the best of our ability, meekness, humbleness, and sincerity. That's why we tell the Israelite man, hey, turn away from evilness, come back into the righteous ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Turn away from evilness, you know, be not conformed to the ways of this world, but renewing of your mind. And that's in Romans 12:2, you know. And I'm gonna bring out that 1 John 2:15. So, you know, it's important for the Israelite man to come back into who he actually are as being the sons of Jacob. Hey, Yahshua Allah, He is the Prince of Power. Hey, you the Prince of the Most High, you know. You are the sons of the Most High, you know, the chosen people of the Most High, you know. And we got to come back into the ways of righteousness, you know, whether they're here or forbid. You know, even if we prophesy unto the wind, you know, be continually out here saying and doing sit-down lessons about it on the highways and hedges, speaking about it as well, too. So it's important for the Israelite man to come back into who he actually really are, even if they don't take heed to it. Well, hey, like Scripture says, if he got it hear, let it hear, you know. Or whether they hear it or hear it, he's going to continue to prophesy about this and teach about it, you know. And this is 1 John 2:15. It says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Right, so that shows you that, hey, we got to come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah and not love the ways of this world. because the ways of this world is upside down. That leads into evilness and wickedness of what it promotes for you to conform to. Just like it says in Romans 12:2, be not conformed to this world, but renew of your mind. You know, and acceptable and perfect in the sight of Yahweh of Israel. You know, hey, we got to come back into the ways of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Come back into who we actually really are as being the sons of the Most High. Yahshua Allah is the Prince of Power. Come back into the ways of righteousness and through the repentance of our Lord and our Savior, Mashiach and Abishai. You know. So with that, about to close this. So with that, I'm about to close this lesson out. So hopefully this lesson was edifying on highways and hedges on this Thursday afternoon. So hey, like I mentioned again, hey, it's important for the Israelite man and woman to come back into the ways of righteousness. Come back into who you actually really are as being the sons and daughters of the Most High. Come back to the Israelite woman. Come back into you being the daughters of Zion. Come back into the ways of righteousness. You know, turn away from evilness and wickedness. And the Israelite man, come back into the ways of righteousness. You know, for your whole family, men, women, and children. You know, of Israel, of the lost sheep of the house of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Because it's important for you to come back into the ways of righteousness. You know, like I mentioned again, you know, a lot of Israel is not going to take heed to it, whether they're here with the beard, and we're going to continue to mention it. Even if we sound like a broken record player, you know, it's important for you to come back to who you actually really are as being the children of Israel, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, of the respectively 12 tribes of Israel, from the northern kingdom into the southern kingdom. Come back into the righteous path of Yahweh Shemel Shah, you know. Seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near, and turn away from evilness and wickedness and come into the ways of righteousness. So with that, like I mentioned again, this lesson was out of highways and hedges. Out here in modern day Babylon, modern day Egypt as well too. So with that, once again, hopefully this is edifying. I would like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Shalom to the elders who preach the word truthfully and sincerely in the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. I say shalom to the elders out there, and shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preach the word truthfully and sincerely in the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. And shalom to the Akwaf out there that's listening and learning as well too. So with that, I would say shalom elders, wa Akim, wa Akwaf out there. Until next time, I will say shalom.